Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video today. I'm so excited to make this video because I actually made it work. So, this draft class was the biggest pain in the butt, aka ass, because listen, where is Anthony, where is Will Anderson? Well, he's all the way down here cuz if he's within this top 15, 13, whatever, he will go number 1 overall no matter what. I'm not joking. I'm literally not kidding at all. It's ridiculous. I mean, I could even have him at number 9, and he would still go at number 1 overall no matter what I did for the Panthers. I have to manually make the Panthers pick, and teams won't be exact, but it gets to the point where I have done it. So, if my calculations are correct, we should see CJ Stroud or Bryce Young number 1 overall here. But let's go ahead and take a little look-see at the draft board before we get into it. Today we're going to make Madden predict the draft here. So CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Christian Gonzalez, obviously, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Carter. And if you guys are curious, this is my class. It is published. It's Ian 2023 DC, I think is what it's called. So IN 2023 DC. You guys should find it. Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's on Old Gen and PC. But yeah, I got all these guys up here. Jackson Smith and Jigba moved up the board quite a bit. Devin Witherspoon moved down. Tyree moved down. Paris Johnson, Joey Porter, Skoronski, Van Ness, Miles Murphy, Banks, Anderson, Addison, Smith, Mayer, Branch, Wright, Quentin Johnston, Nolan Smith, Brian Brzee, Dalton Kincaid, Broderick Jones, Keely Ringo, Kalijah Cansey, Zay Flowers, Anton Harrison, Drew Sanders, Adetomiwa Adebawore, Will McDonald, BJ Ojolari. All these guys all the way down. I mean, I'd say I have a solid 5 rounds of like correct players, and then 6 is where it gets kind of spotty and you might miss a few players. But I've got a lot of players in here. Jackson Kirkland is actually, oh no, I'm thinking of whatever his face is. BYU's tackle that's 6'8" and just absolutely huge. I love Ronnie Hickman, by the way. But yeah, this will just show you the NFL draft at this point. So this point in time, Carolina is on the board. We're just going to go ahead and select. It is CJ Stroud out of Ohio State. You guys have no idea how relieved I am that this worked. I've been at it for hours. Bryce Young would be the probably expected pick off the board here. It is. And then what do we see here? Jalen Carter off the board at number 3 is interesting. Then Christian Gonzalez, no quarterback there. Then Anthony Richardson at number 5 is a little interesting. The top 5 so far has been very intriguing. CJ Stroud at 1 and Bryce Young at 2 is pretty standard. Then Jalen Carter might have cleared up some of his off-the-field stuff in this little world we have going in Madden. Goes at number 3 overall. Then at number 4 to the Indianapolis Colts, they elect to go, cornerback Christian Gonzalez over any quarterback on the board. And Anthony Richardson now off the board to Seattle. Where he might start behind Anthony Richard, or where he might sit behind Geno Smith, or they lost Geno Smith in the simulation. So, who's up at number 6? Any predictions? I'm gonna go Lucas Van Ness here. It's Will Anderson, so he's still the first. Oh goodness gracious, he's still the first edge rusher off the board. I've made it work, ladies and gentlemen. At number 7 is Lucas Van Ness. Number 8 is Tyree Wilson. We're seeing a little run on these edge rushers here. Will Anderson, and then we saw Van Ness, and then Tyree Wilson go. Jackson Smith and Jigba off the board to the Bears at number 9. Addison at number 10 is a little interesting. Darnell Wright all the way up to number 11. First tackle off the board. That is a little interesting, for sure. Yeah, I mean, you've still got all these, Peter Skoronski and Paris Johnson just sitting on the board. Darnell Wright's not even that high in the draft class, so curious what went on there. Miles Murphy off the board to the Texans. Seen that before. Then Nolan Smith to the Jets at 13. Yeah, sure. Why not? Dynamic player. Then Quentin Johnston, a big target. It's not like they already don't have that. Devontae Parker, Nelson, or they lost Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, a little bit bigger. Tyquan Thornton. Anywho, Quentin Johnston off the board at 14. And then at number 15, Green Bay Packers select Michael Mayer out of Notre Dame. I have Dalton Kincaid higher than him in this draft class, but it is what it is. Here at number 16 is perhaps a Dalton Kincaid spot, and it is. Dalton Kincaid off the board, Utah tight end, will find his home in Washington, D.C. Got a lot to look forward to there. Paris Johnson falls all the way to 17. Not likely, and Peter Skronsky's still on the board. Devin Witherspoon falls all the way to 18. Not ideal either. So it is what it is. Devin Witherspoon at 18. Corners are falling. Tackles are falling. Does one go here? Peter Skronsky to the Buccaneers. Who is remaining on the board? If I'm not mistaken, Will Levis is. Will Levis at the top of the board. Joey Porter Jr., Deontay Banks, Cam Smith, Brian Branch, Brian Brzee, Broderick Jones, Keely Ringo, Kalijah Cansey, Anton Harrison, Drew Sanders. You got guys like DeJuan Jones, Darnell Washington, Osiris Torrance still on the board. So a lot that can go here. We'll go like 2 rounds maybe of this. Brian Brzee off the board to Seattle. Not a bad pick. You need some help inside, and you do so. Kalijah Cansey, 2 interior picks in a row. Love to see that. And then Drew Sanders, player I really love in this class. Stand up off the edge or can play even middle linebacker for you. Very versatile, and I think he could play well at both. And then at number 23, Joey Porter Jr. is the pick. Can't disagree with that one. Brian Branch off the board is interesting for the Minnesota Vikings. Will McDonald off the board now. That was a little bit early for him, but who knows where he might go on draft day. But Deontay Banks at 26 to the New York Giants. And now the Dallas Cowboys will be going at Cam Smith. So we're seeing the running backs fall. DeJuan Jones is picked up before any of the running backs. There goes Jahmyr Gibbs before Bijan Robinson. Where is Bijan? Where is Bijan? Did Bijan fall way down the board? Bijan. Yeah, he fell 17 spots. Oh, wow. So Bijan unfortunately fell down the draft board. Who knows what brought that up? Adetomiwa Adebawore, as the end of the first round is, exiting. This Broncos pick, I don't think belongs to the Broncos. So it is what it is. Adetomiwa. And then Trenton Simpson off the board to the Kansas City Chiefs, the last pick of the first round, basically. But BJ Ojulari, wait. How the heck did the Eagles win the Super Bowl? They didn't. Madden is bugged, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second round. Chase Claypool made this trade happen. Chase Claypool for this second round pick, the first second round pick of the draft. Reset here. It's Keely Ringo off the board. I can't remember who they got earlier. I think it was Paris Johnson. Then Osiris Torrance off the board. And then Keon White, edge rusher out of Georgia Tech, off the board. Will Levis finally goes. The Colts get him in the second round. I don't know what the scenario and likeliness of that is, because bizarre. But, yeah, keep it moving here. Steve Avila now off the board. Broderick Jones off the board to the Rams. And then Zay Flowers gets some wide receiver help over there with the Raiders. I actually like that fit quite a bit. You want to give, Jimmy G a few guys to run after the catch. I think Zay Flowers is very shifty after the catch, and we'll see what happens there. John Michael Schmitz and then Darnell Washington, 2 players that just go off the board after Zay Flowers. And now Hendon Hooker, middle of the second round to the, I guess it's a little early in the second round, off to the New Orleans Saints. I don't mind that at all, actually. That's a very fun little thing you got going there. Jack Campbell now off the board. And then you will get Jalen Hyatt, speed receiver to the Browns after trading for Elijah Moore. Obviously, that didn't happen in Madden, so it is what it is. Jalen Hyatt goes at number 12 in the second round. And then at number 13, Anton Harrison will get up and go. Felix Ndike-Uzama probably doesn't go this low, but there's a chance. Then second pick of the Packers draft, they get Isaiah Foskey at number 15 in the second round. Little interesting there. Derek Hall goes off the board at 16 in the second round. Halfway through the second round now. Who remains on the board at this point in time? Manny Forbes, Antonio Johnson, Bijan Gets. I really like Josh Downs, Tuli Tuipulotu, Luke Musgrave, Zach Charbonnet, Tariq Stevenson, Mozzie Smith. I need to move him up my draft board, maybe his overall a little bit. Tucker Kraft, Julius Brents, Dan Henley. I'm looking down the board. Sam Laporta. Keanu Benton needs to get moved up in this draft class for sure. A lot going on here, but what is going to happen? Jervon Dexter, one of my favorite players in this whole entire draft, off the board at 17. And then at number 18, Bijan goes to the Lions. Very interesting fit right there. See how that will play out. Antonio Johnson, strong safety for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now. I love Antonio Johnson, one of my favorite players in the class. Josh Downs at number 20, at number 20 in the second round. That is a fit that I love. So Josh Downs probably go play slot for the Seattle Seahawks, and then Tucker Kraft, the tight end for the Dolphins now. Interesting. Cody Mock, now he plays guard apparently, and he does not look like that. So definitely have a few things to fix. Dan Henley off the board. They don't need middle linebacker, but Madden doesn't know that. Luke Musgrave. Julius Brents off the board. Julius Brents I really love. Very tall corner out of Kansas State. Zach Charbonnet off the board. UCLA's running back. Tui Pelotu finally finds himself off the board. Late second round. Great value there. Love that player. Sidney Brown's really good at this spot, playing free safety. You could probably move to strong safety for you as well. But Zach Harrison off the board as this second round starts to die down. Zach Harrison, one of my favorite players in this class. I have so many favorite players in this class. Whippler off the board. And then Chiefs take Jalen Duncan. Probably would prefer Matthew Bergeron at this spot, but it is what it is. And then final pick of this draft. Any predictions here? What position or anything? It's Devin A-Chain of the Texas A&M Aggies. So that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy this. Let me know down in the comments if I should change anything, if anyone's criminally low that I didn't already mention. But yeah, that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you, especially if you watched all the way to now. I do appreciate it. Might as well consider liking and subscribing. That'll be all. I just hit the mic. Sorry. That'll be all for me.